Assalamualaikum. Today our group will discuss about the communication. For our task today, we talk about the communication that have in the company. That company we have studied is about the message sedia berhad. Today in introduction I will tell about the objective. The objective is to understand the definition of the communication in our daily life. In our daily life today, everyone have their own communication in their life, like when to share something with other, right? For the second objective is to observe the disadvantage of communication in message sedia berhad. The third one, to study the communication activity in sedia berhad company. For the communication, did all of you know about the meaning the communication come from? I think everyone don't know, right? The communication come from the Latin terminology. That means to share. That means it is an act of conveying meaning from the entity of group to another to the use mutually understood sign and semantic rule. Human communication is unique for its intensive use. For abstract language development of civilization has been closely linked with the progress in telecommunication. You know, the telecommunication is for right now everyone use their telecom to communicate each other, like message and other telecom, then message that allow us to communicate with other that far away from us. That's all from me. Thank you.
Message Communication Company, or Message Berhad, is an investment holding company which engages in the provision integrated telecommunication services in Malaysia. Headquartered in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, providing a variety of communication products such as postpaid, prepaid, phone, broadband, application and value-added services for customers, large enterprises and small and medium business owners. The majority of the company's stock is owned by a billionaire and a nutritionist. So here is the corporate background of Maxis company. On 19 October 1999, Maxis introduced the prepaid brand Hotlink. In 2002, Maxis acquired Timecell, a rival mobile service provider from Time.com Berhad. On 27 of April of 2007, an offer was made to buy out Maxis and privatize the company in preparation for expansion into the Indonesian, Indian and Qatar market. The deal was offered by Andy Krishnan, who paid Maxis of 70.69 billion in exchange for the remaining share of the company. The offer is to be formally made by Usaha Tegas, a company owned by Anandan Krishnan. Under the urging of former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Najib bin Tun Abdul Razak, Maxis announced that it will release the company in Bursa Malaysia on 11 November of 2009. The initial public offering, which constitute 30% of the company and involve its Malaysian operations, will raise at least 11.7 million ringgit Malaysia. In September 2013, Maxis Prepaid Hotlink launched its Hotlink plan, which is claimed to be the first telecommunications company to offer free internet services on cellular network. Hotlink calling it free basic internet. Maxis are the leading communication service provider in Malaysia, enabling individuals, families, businesses to do more in an always-on world. As their customers increasingly immerse themselves in an ever-expanding universe of connected applications, they are obsessed with providing an unmatched end-to-end internet experience, bringing together advanced always-on connectivity and always great technological care. At Maxis, they are driven by their brand purpose of mainstreaming what's next. They are passionate about new services that are worry-free and focus on their goals. For their B2B customers, they provide headache-free integrated solution to enable new and greater way of working. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi there. Today I would like to talk about varieties of activities in Maxis Telecommunication. Okay, one of it is promotion. Actually, promotion is the business of communicating with customers. It refers to the entire set of activities. The idea is to make people aware, attract and induce to buy the product. It will provide information that will assist them in making decisions to purchase a product or service. Next, another method that can be used is advertising. Maxis can make an agreement with the advertising source like printing media, television or radio, which is an effective ways to attract customers and to make them aware about the brand existence. In addition to that, billboards, hoarding, banners can be installed at a strategic location to attract more customers. Okay. Besides that, tagline can be used. Okay. And a creative taglines is the key for this point. Okay. Next, I would like to talk about word of mouth. Word of mouth is the most important in promoting strategies. Okay. We do believe that one certified customers can bring another 10 customers, while one dissatisfied customers can take away 10 customers. Another method that can be implemented is sponsorship, meaning that Maxis, they can hire or pay an organization to use their brand and logo. This organization usually has a high profile, so that Maxis know that their product and brand will be seen by a large audience. Okay. Most common sponsorship that in my point of view is like a music jazz festival. Every year they can do an event at the music jazz festival to attract more customers. Last but not least is selling. Okay, what is selling? How we define selling? Selling is the first and foremost transaction between a seller and a buyer. Okay, that's the thing where money being transferred from the seller to the that's the thing that money being transferred from the buyer to the seller and they exchange goods. So the best way to define selling is to focus on the sales skills that are necessary to make the transaction happen. Another definition of selling is the closure of deal. Maxis takes only the suitable for the goodness of their company. They can use presentation and demonstration approach. Presenting and demonstrating the features and benefits of their products in smartphones in order to convince the prospect that people want or need to be satisfied. Thank you.
Optical communication system. The word optical stands for light. As the name itself suggests, optical communication system depends on light as the medium for communication. In an optical communication system, the transmitter converts the information into signal in the form of light, and finally, the signal then reaches the recipient. The recipient then decodes the signal and responds accordingly. In optical communication system, light helps in the transmission of information. The safe landing of helicopters and aeroplanes work on the above principle. The pilot receives light signal from the base and decide their next movement. On the roads, red lights communicates the individual to immediately stop while the individual move on seeing the green light. That's the example of optical communications. For radio communication system, in the radio communication system, the information flow with the help of a radio. Radio communication works with the aid of a transmitter with a receiver equipped with an antenna. The transmitter, with the help of an antenna, produces signal which are carried through radio carrier wave. The receiver, also with the help of an antenna, receives the signal. Some information is unwanted and must be discarded, and hence the electronic filter help in the separation of radio signal from other unwanted signals, which are further amplified to an optimum level. Finally, the signal are decoded in an information which can be easily understood by the individual from them to respond accordingly. In duplex communication systems, two equipment can communicate with each other in both of directions simultaneously. In the duplex communication system, two devices can communicate with each other at the same time. The type of communication system involves the sender and the receiver, where the sender is in charge of sending signals and the recipients only listen to it and respond accordingly. Such communication is also called simplex communication system. The effective of communications is such as internet, face-to-face meeting, email, internal office mailing, posters, wellness committee, home mailing, newsletters delivered at home, and postcard. Also, social media such as Facebook and Instagram has been an emerging trend as a channel for benefits communications. To improve our communication skills, we have to choose best communication channels. In the following 5-step method to effective employee benefits communications, employers can determine which communication channels work best for their approach. Determining what channel to use when is very important to the success of an overall strategy. Number 1. Analyze employers' available HR data or feedback, including to employee opinion survey, or what we call EOS. Number 2. Identify key areas for improving employee perceptions, knowledge, and understanding. Number 3. Design communications program and implementation timeline that includes development of an overall image for benefits communication program, and plan out targeted communication elements that address the top benefit issues. Number 4. Create and execute program per implementation timeline and repeat entire process annually. For number 5, conduct post-implementation surveys to analyze effectiveness and identify new opportunities. Learn more about 4 different types of communication and how using them effectively can improve performance, morale, and teamwork and success in your business.
Assalamualaikum and hi. Okay, now I would like to talk about communication types and how to improve each other. Firstly, verbal communication. Okay, whenever possible, use face-to-face conversation or communication, especially in the workplace, to eliminate many of the misunderstanding. Speaking directly to someone allows both of you to see bigger and clearer picture. As you speak to your team or another person, you can see other facial expression and body language. Okay. The emphasis on focusing on one another and the conversation promotes a feeling of value and credibility. You may think that this is a waste of time. For example, you have to go down from your office at higher floors, and then you have to walk a few blocks just to meet a person. But at the end, it is worth it. Having one quick conversation rather than a multitude of emails can be actually make it more effective in the end. Next, I would like to talk about body language and expression. As I mentioned earlier, body language and facial expression plays an important role in the effectiveness of communication. Eye contact is the most important thing. When you have a proper eye contact, you will make people feel acknowledged as they talk and listen. A relaxed stance with your arm by your side encourage employees to feel comfortable in meeting. If you rehearse before a meeting, you have to do so in front of a mirror, with a full length of mirror, so you can see your own body language. Does it match up your words? Employees will receive your words. Employee will receive your words more positively if your facial expression and body language don't put them on edge or defense. The third point is phone conversation. Okay, we use phone daily in our life. Since phone is the most common part in everyday business, some people enjoy talking to their members and some of them dislike it because it is a waste of time. You can positively impact the effectiveness of your phone communication by doing 3 simple things. Smile while you talk. It sounds silly, but it will give you a friendlier tone. Take notes before the conversation and use them to ensure you cover all points. And finally, speak clearly and slowly so your words can be understood. Last but not least, written communication. Emails, memos and notes are a common form of written communications. All of 4 communication styles, this type of communication, written communication, is the one that can lead to most misunderstanding. People often read between the lines or feel that there are implied message or emotions in written form of communications. In a workplace situation, this should be avoided. Before you send your email to your employees, you should distribute a memo or post an important notice on the staff bulletin board. And you can check it by yourself at first before you submit it to your employees. A business coach or mentor can look over a business coach and mentor can look over your written communication and provide constructive criticism and helpful suggestions.
Maxis, as one of leading telecommunication company in Malaysia, is sending SMS to all Maxis users regardless of who he or she is, what position have, how old is he, and many different races segmentation that will have to be under consideration to send right at SMS. There are 3 witnesses of this company, which is, for instance, the professor does not like to see SMS inviting him to have Cohen's or Rihanna's ringtones or willing to participate in a test selecting or who is the singer of that particular song. It is an interesting SMS, perhaps for teenagers, not for all adult or every users. This mass marketing will damage the trust and convenience for Maxis users. It borders and disturbing. Consequently, will damage the Maxis brand. Other problem is about the newly launched products such as Maxis Broadband. They offer 3 options, which is wireless broadband, wired broadband, and voice to go. Wireless broadband offers internet access and exploration anywhere. Wired broadband offers high-speed internet. Okay, and finally, voice to go offers management of call through advanced Maxis VoIP service. This product received many complaints from the user because of such as low coverage of UMTS and HTTPS signal. Exists as a contract of 12 months that confusing the users, and finally it will borders and disturb the users to use this company. The final point of these witnesses of the Maxis company is A poor of supply chain will delay of the product to reach hand on the Maxis customer. Unnecessary delays can harm the Maxis over the long run because it will cause the Maxis customer cancel their orders. Weak supply chains has significant impact. Analysts should put more weight into it. Weak supply chain will have a long-term negative impact on this entity which subtract from the entity value. That's all for me. Thank you.
As we all knew, Maxis is one of the leading telecommunication company in Malaysia. They provide many services, products and gifts such as free phones and internet plans for their respective users. On top of that, they are facing an issue to deliver those huge number of products and services to their customers as they are insufficient of supply chain. At the end, both sides, which is the Maxis itself and the customer, having a loss due to cancellation. The reason is when there are too much of requests from the users, it takes time for Maxis to deliver to their users' needs. This will affect users' daily activities. Some more, they need to wait for a long period of time for their items or services to be delivered. Besides, Maxis company will also face a bad reputation. What Maxis should do is to make an offer to the community across all ages and gender, starting from school students until general workers who are looking for another side income to be an agent by selling Maxis products and technical services. Maxis could support those who are interested to be part of the company by training them with techniques on how to run a business and ways to solve technical issues which nowadays related to computers. This could give benefits not only to the agents but also to the Maxis as they are capable to deliver their service quickly and on time. But the most is to all users, they could enjoy using Maxis without any complication. So what Maxis should do is they should add more agents by selling products and giving services to Maxis, to customers, which will overcome the problem which is lack of supply chain. That's all from me. Thank you.
As the conclusion, human communication is unique to its extensive use of abstract language. Development of civilization has been closely linked with progress in telecommunication. Commercial is the business of communicating with customers that refer to the entire set of activities which communicate the product or service to the user. The idea is to make people aware, attract and induce to buy product. In preference, over other to provide information that will assist them in making decision to purchase a product or service. The pace and creativity of some promotional activities are very compared to normal business activities. Hafiz, do you know about the method that involved in company?
Okay, there are some another method that involved in company such as advertising, word of mouth, sponsorship and selling to attract their customer. Besides that, the system of communication in company involves some part. First, optical communication system. Second, radio communication system. And lastly, duplex communication system.
Can you elaborate more?
Okay, for the first optical communication system, the word optical stands for light. As name itself suggests, optical communication system depend on light as the medium for communication. For the second, which is radio communication system, in the radio communication system, the information flow with the help of radio. Radio communication system with the aid of transmitter and receiver both equipped with an antenna. And lastly, duplex communication system. In duplex communication system, two equipment can communicate with each other in both the direction simultaneously and hence the name duplex. Akmal, do you know there are also some method for effective communication? Can you tell me about the method effective communication?
There are also some method for this communication. There is 9 method. First, internet, face-to-face meeting, email, internal office mailing, posters, wellness committee, home mailing, newsletter delivered at home, and postcards.
Okay, Akmal. I also want to ask you about there are some way communication type and how the way you improve to each other. Do you know it?
Can you explain that?
Okay, there are 4 types communication type. First, verbal in person. Second, body language and facial expression. Third, phone conversation, and lastly, written communication.
Can you explain one by one?
Okay, Akmal. For the first, verbal in person. Verbal in person is communication, whether possible, use face-to-face communication in the workplace to eliminate many of the misunderstandings that can occur. For the second, body language and facial expression. As the mentioned above, your body language and facial expression play a vital role in how effective or ineffective you are at communicating with staff member. And third, phone conversation. Use of the phone is common part of every business day. Some people enjoy talking to team members by phone. Okay, for the last, written communication. For example, written communication is email, memos, and notes. They are common form of written communication. Of all 4 communication styles, this is one that can lead the most misunderstanding. Okay, that's all we can conclude about communication. Okay, thank you.